So, the HELIX Stadium family of kit is about to launch. So, how big is it actually compared to other gear? Well, we don't know yet, but we can find out because Pedal Train have sorted us right out.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yo guys and dolls, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you're old school, you know what we're about by now. So in this one, we're going to look at what is the size difference between the big hitters in the modelling industry. So obviously because we haven't got all of the products, basically Pedal Train have sorted us out. So Pedal Train have put up all of their new pedals into their app, which is called Pedal Train Planner. So what I've done is I've just loaded them up and it can give us a complete and utter comparison about how big shit is, which is brilliant. So it's a quick one, but it's informative. So let's go. Right, okay, so on screen straight away we have the OG, the big boy HELIX, which as you can see is a fairly decent sized thing. If I pull in the Quad Cortex, it's half the size. In fact, I don't even know what that is of size, but it literally, you could fit two of them into the original HELIX. It is a big old lump of stuff. If you've got one, obviously now you know how big a Quad Cortex is. So if you look at it, you can pretty much almost line the buttons up to be the first four up to the fifth. So that's how big that bad boy is. Okay, so that is your original HELIX. So let's get rid of that. Now we've got the LT. Now the LT is not a million miles smaller than the original HELIX. Do you know what I mean? They're quite comparable really. So size wise about an inch either way really. Okay, so that's a great piece of kit, a little bit smaller in relation to the Quad Cortex. Again, about half the size and then some. Okay, so that's the LT. Get rid of the LT and now we have the Stadium. Okay, so if I bring in the original HELIX again, the Stadium XL is about half a teedle shorter and it's about phone's volume level, well, just underneath the level of the screen for the expression pedal, smaller. That's still a big girl. That's a big chunk. Okay, so it's a fairly decent size. Let's look at the Stadium. So that takes the teedle off and it also drops it by about half an inch. So that's, you think, well, that's really quite small. So if we were to look at that in relation to the original HELIX, that's a big chunk cheaper. That's a big chunk smaller. So what we can also see as well is the buttons are slightly closer together than they were on the original HELIX. So a little bit closer together. So as you can see, you're looking at about the kind of your mode and your tap button size in relation to height. And these are all they have to be really accurate because of the Pedal Train stuff. You can see that it's just above your original teedle, halfway through your buttons. Okay, so that's what the Stadium is in comparison to that. Let's look at what that looks like with relation to the other kit. So look at the FM9. FM9 is a lot shorter, but it's way longer. Okay, again, it's about, well, just a little bit shy of the original HELIX, but it's a lot thinner. You know what I mean? It's quite a long unit. So the FM9 is pretty well spec'd, really. Okay, in relation to the Quad Cortex, and this is what's going to get most people. Quad Cortex is tiny. It's absolutely tiny. And when you look at the unit itself, do you know what I mean? Human hand, she's you know what I mean? It's not. It's grabbable, but it's still quite a chunk. When I compare it to the next thing, which is Tonex. Look at that. It's a completely different game. Tonex, bearing in mind, can sound just as good as Quad Cortex. Not the greatest amount of effects in there, but if you just want a great tone and you don't use many effects, mate, look at the size of that. Literally half the size of a Quad Cortex. Nothing compared to the XL. Ridiculous. Okay, and then we could go one step further and look at that. You know what I mean? A Tone X1 with a MIDI controller, nothing. It is literally the size of 2 of the buttons of these units. In fact, it's exactly the same as the panel layout of the XL, of the Stadium, sorry. So there you go. Right, that's a bit grim, isn't it? So let's just put the HELIX, the HELI next to each other. So the LT, big boy, full floor. Actually, I'll do it like this. Big boy. And the HELIX is a big girl as well. And then the XL. So as you can see now, still really quite big. Oh, let's say not too bad, but not what I was hoping. This is the form factor that is winning hearts at the minute. This just obliterates that in size. So there you go. What do you think? So big boy HELIX, LT, XL. Then I'd most probably go Stadium. Then we'll look at FM9. Close between these two, length rather than height. Then you've got the Quad Cortex, which is just tiny wee small. Tone X. And then just everyone's little mate. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick one to just show you what the deal is with those units. Obviously, I haven't put in the Fender or the Ampero or all the other modelers that are out there. But just the core kind of size relative. One of us has most probably got one of these units, so you can see kind of relative size. And as I say, FM9 seems to be pretty popular at the minute, so that's kind of the size of the FM9 in relation to those three. So yeah, Quad Cortex just absolutely obliterates it in relation to size. Okay guys, well that was that one, and I will catch you in the next one. Enjoy, compare and contrast, comment what do you think. Does size matter? Who knows? It does for me, because I've mate, always been small. Always like the small ones. Right, take it easy guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.